Yo, my people, what up, though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Prentice.
Yeah, you're right, but your joint is kind of like popping in this joint. It's super loud. But you're good, though. Keep rocking.
I don't know how because I turned it down. It's probably the lowest it's been in 8 recordings.
Well, back your face up because you're loud.
Yeah, that's hard.
Nah, you good.
I did hear echo when I said that. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm about to say back your mouth up.
What is
I was
it?
about to say back your mouth up. I say back your face up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo. Oh man, what's good, fellas? What's good? Pete, check in, man. How you be? How you living? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good. Happy belated birthday to Mrs.
Appreciate you. I ain't gonna tell the podcast world that you forgot my birthday.
That's
He
so funny
didn't-
because you didn't just hear me say it.
Yeah, he wasn't even talking to you.
Jumped at him, man. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna tell him you forgot my birthday a day later. I'm over here giving Soraya a birthday.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's hella funny.
That's funny.
Well, yeah. Let me go do you first. All right. Happy belated birthday to you, man. I called you the next day after I saw an Instagram post.
It's technically it's a belated happy birthday because my birthday was on my birthday. Your happy birthday shout was late, so it's
my shit was late to the motherfucker, man.
all good. I still love you, cuz.
Yeah, it's all good. Love you too. So Soraya's birthday was 2 days ago. So we just got back from Arizona yesterday. So I took her out there for 5 days, man. And we partied like we was 21 years old. We was drunk the whole time. We was having a great time, man. Shout out to her cousin Kyle, who's getting married in November. We stay in his house whenever we go. He always rolls out the red carpet for us, man. And but when I tell you we had an amazing time, we fucked around and okay, so I'm not bringing it up. You know, I'll be bringing up like the like entertainment famous type of deal ever. But I thought it was really cool. On Sunday, we had a day party we went to. Her man Dave, shout out to Dave, had a day party and he invited some special people. And he invited us as well. And there was this couple that was there sitting at our table in the section, and we just chopping it, having a good time, you know. And Sarai, you know, her energy, she's gonna gravitate to people gravitate to her. And you know, the dude, I was chopping it with him, you know, like, yo, why you guys in town? And you know, he was like, oh yeah, we're here for, you know, preparing for a tour. He was kind of vague about it. So I was like, all right, cool. So we just kept chopping it. And then, you know, as the hours go along, we went from the day party to dinner at this soft opening of a spot. Then we went to this club called Pretty Please that he runs. Like, we had a full VIP treatment type of night, right? We get halfway like through the day party, and he just keeps bringing up things that just sound above average. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, we were doing something over in San Tropez, and you know, our daughter, you know, she's 4 and has a private tutor on the tour, and you know, so it's just like, yo, who? And then you ask like the wife, what do you do? She's like, oh, I'm a hairstylist. Long story short, I say all that to say we spent all Sunday, with Beyonce's hairstylist and Jay-Z's nephew, and I just thought it was dope that they were regular ass normal people.
Wait, they're together?
Yeah. So yeah, Jay-Z's nephew's girl is Beyonce's hairstylist. And you know, they signed NDAs, can't really talk about it and shit like that. So it was, you know, they were obviously kind of be under the radar. But the thing that stood out most about that was, one, it was just a cool experience, right? Like to have that type of close connection or to be in proximity with people that close to them, which was just dope. But again, they were regular ass, normal ass motherfucking people with amazing, extraordinary stories. You know what I'm saying? Doing dope ass shit that they love to do. And it was really, really cool, man. Like, you know, it was just cool to have that kind of experience with people doing amazing things, because it's motivating just through talking to them normally. And you know, we left that day like, you know, we keep plugging away at it. We're gonna find our joy in different areas, you know. So it was real inspirational, man. But overall, the trip was fun as fuck, man. We were supposed to come home Monday, and then we got to Houston to eat one more dinner before we got on the plane. She decided she didn't want to come home, so it was like, all right, fuck it. So we switched the flight for the next day. And so just to be able to kind of like, this was the first birthday I was really able to like take care of her for real, if that makes sense. You know what
No,
I'm saying? Like
that's what's up.
it wasn't like I didn't have to worry about the budget. And I don't say that from a financial space. I say that from like a security space. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
I finally, but like didn't have to keep like a tab on what we did and how much of it that we did. Like I was able to like really take care of her, whatever it is she wanted to do from absolute start to finish. So that just really made me feel accomplished as like a person, man. Like I really felt good about myself being able to take care of her the way she deserves to and that I wanted to finally. You know,
That's
like
what's up.
no cutting, no corners, like no corners cut and her not having to worry about nothing. And that was a really, really good feeling, man. So I'm doing really good, man. 'Cause I'm still floating off that trip.
That's what's up.
Man, shout out to you, man. That's what's up. So it sounds like y'all both got gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like she got treated how you've always wanted to treat her, and you got the satisfaction of knowing that you could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
what's
different
up.
when you do it, you know?
Yeah.
And it don't matter if you spend 175 versus $50. It don't matter if you spend 1,000 versus 300. Just the fact that you were able to accomplish what it is that you really wanted to do is all that matters. You know what I'm saying? And I did that, man. So I'm really happy. I'm happy for her and myself.
That shit is all relative, bro.
Yeah.
You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So that's what's up, man. Yeah, because 300 could feel like 3,000. You know what I'm
Nigga,
saying?
Yeah.
Like to a
nigga,
person,
easy.
depending on where you are. So that's
No.
what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. I'm sure that smile made it all worth it though, bro. Like just the
What?
joy in her. Yeah, yeah. That's what's up.
What?
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing, man.
yeah, it was good. So with you, Chief?
Yo, I'm overwhelmed. And I realized that today. There's just a lot going on, man. And my days have been like I leave work. I get up in the morning, I get a good workout in, I get to work, do my thing during work. Them kids been pissing me off lately, but I leave work, I'll go pick up my boys for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I gotta shoot to get Bubba from practice, get her some food, and then we gotta drive an hour to her travel team practice, and we're there for like, it's an hour away, and practice is 2 hours. We gotta drive an hour back, and that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But she practiced that for her school Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's just a lot, bro. And it's just, it's just me and it's just moving and shaking. She had a tournament in New York this past weekend, they won. But it's like, it's just busy, man. It's a lot going on. And I feel like I'm doing, I think I talked about the last episode, I feel like I'm doing a disservice by my boys because I'm only seeing them for, I try to see them every day, but like, it's only for an hour or two. Like I don't want to bring them to
the practice.
Because then we're getting back late. They got, they got school in the morning and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to, sometimes we don't get home until 9:30. You know what I'm saying? Stormy's in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they don't want to sit around at Bubba's practice. Where her new practice field now got a pretty nice park. So I told them we'll come to the park and see if they like it. That's okay. I'll take them maybe, once or twice a week so they can hang out and play at the park. But even then, they were still getting back late. You know what I'm saying? So that has me like feeling terrible. I feel like my boys is getting gypped or whatever. So like today, we just hung out for hour and a half, 2 hours, dropped them off. And then Mia didn't have practice, but I had rehearsal. You know what I'm saying? So that, yeah. So that was that. But it's just, it's a lot going on all at once. But I'm still, huh?
My bad, cut you off. I had a question about that before you went to the next topic.
Go ahead.
Is the time? Do you think the time would be worth the sacrifice? You know what I mean? Like maybe them staying out late one extra day out of the week just to spend more time with you. Would you feel better? You know what I'm saying? Like
no. I think they're cool with it. It's me who I have the problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I spend significant, just because given the nature of the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? I just have significantly more. You know what I'm saying? Like and
This
they had
is like the third episode in a row that this came up. I'm not sure if you realize.
because it's been weighing on me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's been weighing on me, and again, I'm making a more of a conscious effort to make it more consistent, but it's still one of them things that's like,
Not enough.
it's not, and it feels like not enough. So they're gonna come with me this weekend to Bubba's tournament, and just we're gonna go get the hotel with the pool and swim a little bit. It's in New York, Chester, New York.
Oh, this weekend is in New York.
Weekend, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's in the same location as it was last weekend. So that's gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? My mom's actually gonna come too, so it'll be cool. On a lighter note, your boy got his books in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you only have
Hey.
one. Oh, you only have one. Okay.
Yeah, and that was like the prototype just to make that for editing proof purposes. But my books came in, so now I ain't gotta have niggas side out of me at gigs. Like, you got a book, and I give him that chat book. Nigga looked at me like, this ain't no damn book. So I was like, all right, bitch, I got one for you now. You know what I'm saying? So
what's up?
that's kind of cool. And
how many do you have there?
I got 150 here. 150 here. So
that's what's up.
I'm hoping to run through them joints. I think I'm gonna do two like book releases if I can. I think I want to just have like an invite only with just my people who I really, who I know have appreciated and supported my work. You know what I'm saying? And then just put one out. I still put one out for everybody like that. So but it was kind of cool coming home and I'm like, what the hell is this box? Because I ordered it Sunday. And they told me like 2 weeks and they got here today. I'm like, damn, so what is this big ass box? And then I look and I'm like, oh, this is cool, man. So it did something different to me because I never, I always wanted my first book to be something that like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a security thing with that, but like I've always been like, I wanted my first book to have a message and a meaning, to say something, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's a bunch of messages and meaning in all these poems.
I was gonna say you had a book about poems. If you can't find a message and a meaning in there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. So I'm super hyped about that. I got a bunch of gigs coming up, so that's gonna be cool. So hopefully I can run these things off there and make a couple extra dollars and run it back or whatever. But it feels real dope to have gotten that in. I'm good, man. Been working out consistently. Got a little challenge with the fellas going on, so it's keeping me motivated and kind of like, it's a way to keep myself accountable. So it's been good, man. But I have no complaints outside of that, bro. Your boys, I'm doing all right. I'm keeping a level head. But I honestly, I can candidly say that I think I'm wearing the stress or the heavy or the overwhelm on me more while still trying to get rid of it. Cause I like that irritability thing is still going on. I called a new therapist.
Nice.
I don't know how long mine will be on leave. So I'm like, I don't want to go this gap while still feeling this way. Had I been in a better headspace, you know what I'm saying, a better space, I would have been okay with the break. But I'm like, I don't know when she's coming back. So rather than wait so long, I figured let me just start it up again. As long as I can start purging some of this shit, I think it'll still keep me in a good spot. So outside of that, bro, all is well. Moving and shaking and pushing through it. So I'm good.
That's what's up.
What about you, Bellhead? You have a question for me?
1 second. I got a question. It's like a 2-part question. One, like, what's the contingency plan for all the shit that you just talked about? Like stuff that you can like outsource, like driving and all of that. Like, do you have an alternative or are you it?
I do. I am it. The blessing in disguise, I guess, is one of my good friend's daughters also plays on the team. So we talked today, we'll split a couple days during the week just to kind of have a little bit more time off, maybe, spend some more time with my boys and be able to actually get some writing done. Oh, I got some good. We already recorded. I told you I went to the concert last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but that was good. I got some good stuff lined up for that. We got some good stuff in the works for that. I'm dumb excited about that, but I don't want to say it too loud because you know how we be jinxing and we feel about the jinx when you put the stuff in the air. But I got some real dope shit coming, so that's gonna be cool. But no, so Mel's daughter also plays. So Mel will pick the girls. Mel will bring the girls every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Take a little bit off me.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Because like the question that keeps coming to my head is like, oh, how long is this sustainable?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like before whatever. Like
I mean,
before
worst case scenario, if it's kicking me in my ass that bad, Bubba just got to miss practice one night. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
mean, it's kicking you in your ass now. It
you
sounds
just ain't going. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going today because I need to sleep. But I mean, like last night, I came home last night after practice and I was asleep by 9:30. And that's very rare for me.
Let me ask you this. If you didn't have your day job, would it be as bad?
If I didn't have my day job, would it be as bad? Probably not as bad. I think.
No, I mean, meaning like you're not working 9 to 5. I mean,
I think that the nature of like it depends on the day at my job. So it wouldn't be as bad. But like some days be like some niggas be wilding. They be pissing me off.
You did mention that too. I wasn't even
But
talking about.
that adds to the stress of it all, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
yeah. The good thing about it though is the kids leave at 1:30, so I have from 1:30 to 3 to like decompress.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, if you right now you're living in two worlds, like we talked about all the time, right? You got the school, then you got your poetry, your craft, and then obviously you got family, like the stuff that we all have. I guess all I'm saying is, I guess my roundabout way of asking is, could this pressure / stress prompt you to make a definitive decision on what you want to do faster?
Yeah.
Because I mean, quite frankly, that's when people move, when there's some pain associated. You know what I mean? And you may or may not have experienced enough pain to say, F this, I'm going full steam ahead in this direction. You know, one way or the other, right? One way or the other. That's the only reason why I was asking, because it sounds like you're just doing a lot. Like, I don't know that there's a scenario that you won't be overwhelmed with what you're doing, because you're doing a lot. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing about that, Bell, you've known me for long enough. Like some of it we chalk off to this is just the game. We chalk it off to the game, right? And just we gotta do what we gotta do. But in this term of doing what I gotta do, it's now like, damn, this is a lot. Like I'm starting to feel the weight of it versus being like, you know what I mean? Yeah, just today was a busy day.
Because it's not made to be forever. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Like it's we can chalk things up to this is part of it, but it's only supposed to be a part of it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like not like this is life. No, this is just a part of it. And you got to get to it, right? So that's all. I was just curious. But as far as me, man, I'm good. Busy at work, good busy. I've been finding myself having a lot of conversations around inclusion, I've been talking about tariffs. Like I've been getting pulled in all kinds of directions, man. And I've just been really locked in on my career, you know, and just making sure I'm doing what I need to do to capitalize on this on opportunity. And keeping the framework that I built that I didn't complete, but I completed the two areas I did complete, which is like the framework for my personal life is like what good looks like for me. So I just broke it up in different aspects of my life, and I didn't complete it all, but I did work, right? Like what good looks like there, what good looks like from a relationship with me and Lo, from a father, and from an investment standpoint. There's some more areas I have to really dial in on, but those I'm doing well at. Like, and I'm just focused on that, and not letting things that ain't got shit to do with me get me moved. I wrote, I don't have my notebook up here, but I heard this quote from John Hope Bryant, and he said, I wrote it down. I wish I brought my backpack up here. It's I'm gonna have to find it. It's oh my god, it's not anger. It's not anger. That's gonna piss me off. But basically, I wrote it down. I gotta find it. But it was a feeling or something. It was like, this is a useless emotion. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know if it was revenge or what. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. And I'm like, that is it. So I'm not leveraging. I'm doing my best, right? We're all human, but I'm doing my best to keep my main thing. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm keeping my main thing. Like, whatever I said, this is what good looks like, and this is how I get there. That's what I'm doing to the best of my ability. You know, we all have our challenges, but to the best of my ability, I am just minding my business and focusing on what I need to focus on. That's it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So P, we were talking prior to the episode, and I'm gonna let you intro this joint, and you know, what I mean, we can move from there.
Yeah, it's funny because what you guys both address applies to the topic in a way that I hadn't considered. And I was thinking about the topic today being paying attention to the signs, and I think it was super relevant hearing both of you guys from two different spaces. And before I even go into like what I was thinking, well, yeah, let me go into what I was thinking originally. Originally, I was thinking, all right. So I really want listeners. I want y'all to chime in via email after you listen to this episode to give us your thoughts to some of these questions that we ask each other. But I was wondering how much you guys both pay attention to the negative and the positive in your life. I feel like it's very common. I was telling Chief before we started recording. I feel like Chief's mishaps and his unfortunates come in like twos and threes. Like he has like something happened, and something happened. He be like, damn, bud, like this is always like, damn, you can't catch a break when something bad happens. And it's real easy when that snowball effect starts happening to kind of get our brain in the space of acknowledging that it's a rainy season. You know what I'm saying? Like it's heavy right now. A lot of things are going fucked up, but I think the question becomes how are we yeah, I think that's huge.
Go ahead, my bad.
I think the question becomes how do we process that? How deeply do we process that? Do we just process that in the sense of, some people go through, everything just fucked up right now. Some people are able to look at the negative mishaps and be like, okay, what does this mean? You know what I mean? Like, okay, rather than just identifying it as things are going bad, are these just experiences that are happening right now that we should be paying attention to and analyzing in order to change them? From that perspective, I think exactly what you were talking about just now, Chief. Like, and then where you went, Bell, was like asking him if he didn't have a 9 to 5, would things be different? Which jumped into my head, like, okay, how should he be looking at this? You know what I'm saying? Like, should he be looking at this as like, okay, is this telling me that I need to make a move? That I need to pivot somewhere? That I need to do something different? You know what I'm saying? And then with him asking you, Chief, like, okay, or then your response being, she just can't go one day. And I'm not specifically getting to the topic right now. I'm just saying, like, is that maybe, like you said, like a temporary solution, but is there a bigger answer going on right now? And it may not have anything to do with your job, but is there something within the stress, because we're talking about negativity, right? Stress is negative. Is there something within stress when we receive stress? Like, how do you guys process it? You know what I mean? Do you pay attention to it deep enough? Do you overanalyze it? You know what I mean? How do you guys handle that when negativity comes in kind of like waves?
So
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Bro. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm taking notes.
Are we assuming that all stress is negative just for the sake of this argument?
Oh, good point. No, I don't want to. No.
Okay.
That's a great point. Because automatically I'm thinking negative when I think of stress, right? But you're right. You can be stressing over things that aren't necessarily negative.
Yeah, like it can be good problems, right?
Yeah.
Um, so that was my only question. So Chief, if you want to go, or I can keep going. It doesn't matter to me.
No, go ahead. So go ahead, because go ahead.
Um, I'm pretty self-aware, and sometimes I can be like Chief, where it's like sometimes where things are bothering me, but I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not willing to admit why. Like I don't want to admit that that thing bothers me the way it does now. None of that is in real time. Like that's all after the fact. Like whether somebody brought it to my attention or I'll give you a perfect example. One day, we had a guys retreat, me and a bunch of my teammates, and I had seen my man, like my man, and me and him just kept getting into it. We kept getting into it, and I might have mentioned this on a recent episode. I couldn't understand why, and I didn't know I was doing it. And then somebody brought it to my attention, and that caused me to slow down and be like, "Why am I acting like this towards him?" Because it was all me. Like it wasn't him; it was me. So I'm like, "Why am I acting like this towards him?" And then I had to dig deeper to understand the reason why. But if nobody pulled my shirt and was like, "Yo, Bell, you kind of bugging," I wouldn't have slowed down to be like, "Oh, he's right." Now let me look deeper. Now when I did the deeper work, it was something that happened literally 12 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But something triggered me that I did. When it triggered me, I didn't address it, and then it compounded. So then when the next time I saw him, everything just showed up. So that's not the apples to apple example, but that's like when I can't catch myself and somebody is gracious enough to catch me, that's where I go. Because we all know what's like what our character is. So if we're doing something out of character, for me at least, I'm like, that's not me. So why am I doing this? There has to be something deeper than, for me, for it to be persistent, for it has to be something deeper than something that happened today, is my point.
Yeah, so I think for me, I'm not as reflective to the depths of it. Like I wouldn't have it, I don't think my process would have taken me back 12 years. I feel like it would have been like, well, what's going on? Is it something? I don't think it would have went that far back. So when I do end up catching myself or I'm called out about something, it's a struggle. For one, because my memory is just awful, but it's a struggle to dig. It's a struggle to find the root of it, and I think it has to continually like show up for me. And the more it shows up in like different ways, then I can start to peel back. So I think I can't give a prime example. I know like when certain things have been brought to my attention and I sit with it, I'm just like, damn, I don't know where this come from. And I always end up reverting back to a personal insecurity or an unresolved trauma that I can't identify. It's like if something's there, I don't know what it is, but you got to figure it out. And then it gets compartmentalized until it shows up again. I haven't been able to, in certain situations, I haven't been able to get to the root of things. Kind of like how we talked about last week, like how my one up, I've been thinking about that since the last conversation. Like my level up joint, like I still haven't figured out where it came from or where it stems from. And I boiled down to maybe the competitive nature of who I am, or just being able to prove to myself that I can do these things. But it's like, well, why? And you can ask yourself why over
unanswered question.
Yeah, you can ask yourself why over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't really gotten to the root of it. But in terms of stress though, Pete, like in terms of like, okay, assessing or the negative, I really like, I try to find the positive in a lot of different things. And I think when the negative is overwhelming, I take a nap, wake up, and it's like, all right, let's keep this train going. I don't. The negative doesn't necessarily consume me for an extended period of time, whether it's knowledgeable or not. Like I don't. It may be compartmentalized, but it's not one of them things that's sitting on my spirit for too long. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Should it be?
Maybe, but it's kind of like, you don't have a bad day. You have a bad moment. You know what I'm saying? I've been working towards that. Like my day ain't bad. I had a bad hour. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep pushing and try to push forward from there. So I don't.
Sometimes that hour can spill over into your day if you let it.
Precisely. Yeah. And I think, I mean, not to get me wrong, it's happened before, but I'm really working towards like, getting past the moment and still trying to find some positivity in the day.
So I think in that example, getting through versus learning through, like if we just use that example, so it's like, I'm gonna get through this, which is the competitive nature that you reference, that we all reference a lot. And but why, right? Like that, back to that question, why did this bother me so much? Like, why is this, like, that's where the work starts. And I'll speak for myself only. There's certain things I don't want to admit out loud to myself. Forget anybody else. To myself. Like, what the old saying is, I don't care what you tell me, I care about what you tell yourself. So there's certain things, like I used to say this to my people that work for me all the time. And again, this is me projecting, but it's like nobody wants to believe that they're the problem. But the reality is, in a lot of cases, we are the problem. Period. I don't give a shit what word game you play. We are the problem.
I've found immense growth in acknowledging and accepting that I'm or was the problem. Like immense to a point where like, nigga, that was all you. And I'm like, okay. And it helps you move in a good direction.
So here's a real time thing for you, because you said you may not be as reflective. Do you, and this is a question for all of us, is there areas in our lives where, and I'm sorry, Prentice, I'm kind of hijacking.
No, do you think?
But are there areas in our lives that we would consider ourselves the problem right now, if we had to think about it?
Yeah,
because it's easy to be like, yeah, back in the day I was the problem. I'm better now though. Like I'm fixed now. You know what I'm saying? But like, here's the reality.
And
I don't know that, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking on my ass. I don't know, but I don't know that there's anybody walking the face of the earth right now that's not their own problem in some way, shape, or form or fashion.
Yeah, in some ways, yes. I think in some of those ways, the word problem might be a lot, but
you got something with the words, boy.
no, I'm just saying, like, because sometimes we like, I think my stubbornness comes into play, and that is a problem. Just in terms of like outsourcing. Like I feel like I can do this myself. Or you know what? Let me just read up on how to learn more about this, and I can get it done, rather than trusting it. I don't know if it's stubborn. It's stubbornness tied in with a little bit of trust too. I don't trust many people outside of my circle, and I think back to this, and I have that. Remember, I told you, like anybody in my world, in my poetry world, I want to genuinely believe in what I do, and so I do, so they're vested, rather than it feeling like a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Pete, that makes sense.
What you're saying, but you can't control that,
right? Well, I mean, yeah, but
can't.
it's you're right, and I think I would like to develop a sincere connection to the people I have working for me and with me, rather than just being a contract. Is that better worded?
It's not better or worse worded. It's not right or wrong. I guess the way I look at it is, I want somebody committed to the job. They will learn to partner and grow with me but I need somebody fully competent at what I need. So for instance, if I'm hiring somebody, they're not, they may be inspired by my story, maybe, right? They may be inspired by the company story, maybe, but at the end of the day, they look at me as someone that can get them to where they want to go, and they're committed to that job, whatever that job is, and maybe maybe not committed to me, but they're committed to what that job can do for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough for me. Like, I listen, I more than your commitment to me, I need you to commit to this work. That's it. like like you commit to, okay, I need, here's where I am, here's where I need it to go. Can you do that? Yes. Okay, what time frame? Perfect. How much? Awesome. You know what I'm saying? And if that is taken care of, then that will then help me get further in what I want to do. And I'm not saying I have the right way to look at it. I'm just saying that's how I look at it versus how you look at it, because I need that person to commit to that service. Whatever that service is, whatever I'm paying you for, I need that. I don't need you to believe in me. I need you to believe in what I'm asking you to do and commit to doing it and get it done to the letter that I'm asking you to do it. And that's enough for me.
Hmm.
But Prentice,
I'm
we've been talking, and you, how did let's go back 4 questions.
right. I was thinking about. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna repeat your question. So go ahead.
Um, I definitely am self-aware to an extent, and I say that because there's two parts. There's a conversation that I had Monday night in the casino in Arizona with Shirai, where I had to accept finally that I was the problem for the scenario. I'll
Mm.
get to that. Going back to the original question though, um, when the snowballing things happen, I definitely have the ability now to be like, okay, what the fuck does this mean? You know, like in real time, like in the moment, I can be emotional, but my brain, I've retrained my brain over the last year or two to really ask myself, what does every single occurrence in my life mean, whether it's good or bad? Every single one. I analyze every one. So when it comes to negativity or stress, I definitely have the ability to look at it and try to decode, decipher. My problem comes in when I locate the answer and don't know what to do about it, or I can't find the motive, the motivation, the ambition, the courage to whatever to actively problem solve to find out the what or the how to fix it. Does that make sense? Like I've had it in my mind most of my life that these, like when you have problems, like it seems like people are able to just change and fix it. And I've never really been able to just like make that quote unquote change to be a different person to fix the problem if that's what it requires.
But you're
Does that
aware,
make
but you're
sense?
saying, but you're
But
aware
I'm
of it.
aware of, which makes it even more fucked up because I'm not going around walking around like I don't know what the problem is. Like I've identified the problem, but
But now
I,
it's a choice.
exactly now it's a choice, and I'm getting mad at myself for not making the choice to fix it,
Do something
solve it.
different.
Like I know what it is, and maybe I try to convince myself I don't know how, but I'm learning that the how just comes through application, trial and error. Um,
But you have to be willing to do the work, though, right? To your
you
point.
have to, and
Yeah.
then and to my next point about the conversation I had with Sarai, I had to accept that I was the problem, and I'm still struggling with that right now because I know it's fucking true, and it's been conversation for years that we've been having, and I had to take accountability for parts that I played in creating the problem. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And that's the real hard part because now I'm sitting here, now that I've accepted and admitted that I've been the problem, now I got to sit with the fact that I've been the fucking problem. And now I can really identify what it is that I did to have this fucking problem. And I can't erase the fact that I did whatever the fuck I did. You know what I mean? And I'm feeling the weight of now being a problem. So now I got to move forward, accepting the fact that I was a problem, and this trial and error part of figuring out how the fuck I want to undo what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that serious for me. Like I want to undo. I don't want to fix it. I want to undo this shit. And I think I may have a fear of not being able to fix it to the extent I want to. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like I'd
No,
rather
yeah,
just
it does.
undo it. I'd rather
But
undo it.
I don't know the circumstances, but just a yes or no question: is it something that can be undone?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's kind of like that in my head. What I heard was like that whole broken glass theory. Like you can or broken glass theory. Like you can take all the pieces from the glass and put the glass back together, but the glass will never look the same.
Right. And then accepting the fact that the glass may not look the same, right? And then that
Mhm.
being a reminder that you cracked it or that you chipped it and broke a couple of pieces. And then you can become a motherfucking master glass maker, nigga. I can learn how to make 88-gallon fucking
So
shape like whatever. But
Nigga, that's
this
a fish
one,
tank.
I'm building tanks around this bitch. But this fucking 6-ounce cup, that's probably the most precious thing ever. I can't make look like this new shit.
so
Right.
couple things to unpack there. One, the fact that you're at the acknowledgement stage is right further than you were. So like there's something to be said about that. Um that's one. Two is you feel guilty about, or I don't want to project those emotions on you, but you feel something about how you showed up or how you were perceived or what you did, and whether it can be done undone or not. It's like the book The Alchemist, right? Like it's so many lessons because things happen to this man on this journey which seemed like it can't get any worse, but because that happened,
It
that
leads
got him
him.
closer to where he needed to go. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you acknowledge that, okay, I fucked up. Like that was on me, and then in effort in living with that acknowledgement, now it's like, well, what does that acknowledgement and um repair do for the next phase, right? As a result of you actively working on this, could that potentially have, or will that potentially avoid something as bad as what you trying to undo because of the work you're doing to avoid this? You know what I'm saying? So almost like
Yeah.
it was necessary for you to go through that so you don't have to go through what you were headed towards. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And I feel like, and again, this conversation just happened 2 nights ago. So I'm feeling like also what has just happened is that you know how the Black Panther had to drink that shit to strip him of his powers and shit
Mm-hmm.
to fight the nigga on the waterfall. I feel like the acknowledgement, like, damn, okay, this shit has been on me, was like me drinking that shit, right? So now I don't have the extra ego, quote unquote, that potion that he drank, that ego, that whatever to kind of push me through. I got to do this shit as a normal nigga. You know what I mean? Like I got to do this shit on normal mode. I don't have, and I got to figure it out. And this shit has been on my mind since the conversation. And being on my mind ain't gonna do shit.
Mm-hmm.
And neither is an immediate action, if that makes sense. This is a
So,
time thing.
better question: is had you not had this conversation? Well, not better question, but question is: had you not had this conversation, would you have continued to do the same thing, or was it that something that you did and just didn't realize you did as a one and done thing? You haven't repeated the problem.
Had I not had this conversation, no, I wouldn't have continued to do the same thing, but I wouldn't approach it the same. Now I have a totally different mind frame. There's accountability here.
Mhm.
That's That's the hard part. And so now I'm like, fuck, man, like you deflect. So, it like goes to the question about are we paying attention to the signs? I've been making my own signs in order to not pay attention to the sign I just paid attention to. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other traffic signals and shit I can point to, I guess, justify the direction or the journey, but simply being like me, the signs don't have no relevance no more. And that shit is like, I don't know, it strips you kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like now I
It
gotta
gives you ownership.
yeah, but it ain't cool. I don't like this shit. Like I don't just the idea nothing's wrong. You get what I'm saying? Nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
But the accountability part came in and I had to swallow her perspective on how she sees things, but I couldn't challenge it because I took accountability and my accountability doesn't allow me to challenge it. And so now I got to sit with all of it and figure out and not and have faith that things will improve the way I would like them to, while also not knowing if and when they will.
Yeah. One of the biggest curves for me in this whole therapeutic process with the podcast and with the therapist is really understanding perspective, because it wasn't like I was ignoring it, but it was a need for my perspective to be heard versus understanding the other perspective, or like I understood it, but the importance wasn't I wasn't accepting it. It was more so, but do you understand me? Like, I heard what you said, but do you hear what I said? And it's like, no, nigga, like you're not listening. I'm taking my ball. You know what I'm saying? So it was a thing for me to kind of like put the ego down and really adhere to different perspective, nigga, because your way ain't the only way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that was a big learning curve for me.
We don't know what we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's so important to get around people who see things differently than you. Not right or wrong, just differently. You know what I mean? Like, you telling me about your commute and all that, Chief, gave me anxiety, like during this call. Because I'm like, because the first thing I thought was how like, that's not sustainable. Like, I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying I put myself in that position. And I'm like, oh, I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the time. Like, so I would have to figure something else out now. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that level, because I couldn't take that drive as easily as you can. Not saying you're doing it easily, but I couldn't do that for any extended period of time because the way I'm wired. You see what I'm saying? And it's not good or bad. It's just the way I'm wired. Like, so my perspective on that, on what you're dealing with, is completely different than yours. Not good or bad. It's just through a different lens. So that's why it's important to get around different people, man, because you can do something your whole life and not think anything's wrong with it. And nobody who's around you will tell you that there's anything wrong with it. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it, but this isn't the only way to do it. And in order for you to understand that, you have to get around people who don't see shit exactly how you see it. So that's why, like, I was joking. I was joking with one of my partners at work, and I always make people uncomfortable. I do my best to make people uncomfortable with this conversation. I was like, hey man, you got any black friends? You know what I'm saying? He's a leader in the company, been around for a while. And then he was like, I mean, I'm like, yes or no, man. You got any black friends? And it was like, no. Then I went to the next person, another senior leader. You got any black? And they saw where I was going, and they're like, then they were like, nobody was giving excuses. It was like, no. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's no knock to anybody who doesn't have black friends. It's just You deprive yourself of that perspective though, because you're only used to seeing things through your culture, through your surroundings, through your upbringing, and there's no diversity of thought. And sometimes it just takes somebody looking at something, the same thing you're looking at it, and seeing something different. I mean, you guys know that you're creatives. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see some words on the paper and I'm like, the hell is this BS? Right. And then you can be like, oh, nah, but you got to say it like this. And then it's like, but we was looking at the same words. We just see it different. I think where I can get jammed up myself personally is if somebody tells me to do something different that makes me extremely uncomfortable to the point where it's an insecurity. Then it's hard for me. It's hard for me to respond, at least in the time frame that they would want me to respond, because it's a fear. And I think that's what the quote was. I think fear is a useless emotion. I think that was the quote. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do anything with it. So anyway, that's my whole point, Prentice, is, and Chief, is we're going to continue doing things that we always do if it provides us comfort. And it will take somebody to come along and be like, nah, that comfort caused this to me, Prentice. Right? That comfort, Chief, is costing you a career. Right? Like whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case. Me not trusting people is costing me my ability to move up in my company fast as I would like to. So we all have something. It's not like we're void of it. It's just, what are we willing to do about it? To your point, Prentice.
Yeah, and I think I'm realizing that one of the, and just for everybody listening, man, I think one of the consequences of when you do have people around who are offering a different perspective and you don't take it in properly, like in my case, she's been saying the same thing for years. This same thing. Why am I just now with the same person who's been presenting the same sign for years? Why am I just now acknowledging it? Yeah, that's gonna some type of reflection and growth in me. Cool. However, it don't change the fact that I've been showing the same sign for years, and I'm just now like accepting the sign, right? Like taking accountability, like listening. And then with that now comes along, damn, you probably could have saved yourself X, Y, and Z had you. Can't change the past, but it doesn't mean that that's not a thought, and that doesn't influence my thinking and train of thought now. So if you do have people around who are willing to show you the signs, the tricky part is taking heed, man. You know what I mean?
Listen, man. Like, first of all, give yourself some grace. Like, let's just start there. Like, give yourself some grace. If someone's a drug addict, they've seen signs to stop smoking crack a long time ago. They've seen them all in front of them.
Don't you smoke crack?
When that first tooth fell out.
You know what I'm saying? But until they're ready, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you have to what do they say with addicts? They got to get to rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? And now for you, in your case, you've changed, period. Even in the last 12 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've changed. So yeah, of course it makes sense that you're able to receive that now. 100%. Because you're a different person than you were even 12 months ago. So that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I know we're coming down on time, but I have a flip. Do you give the same attention to positive signs? Do you give the same type of focus? Do you give the same type of consideration and acknowledgement to the positivity?
I don't think I do, just because, one, gotten better at it, but don't allow myself to necessarily celebrate the wins. Two, after a big win, I'm looking for the next big thing, chasing the next big goal, chasing the next, the next accomplishment. So I don't. It's difficult to embrace or pay attention to the spiral effect of good things happening because I'm still chasing the next thing. So I haven't even given myself an opportunity to celebrate the last 4 wins, because the 5th one is coming. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm too busy chasing the 5th one, or So it's the good times and the wins are very short lived because of this almost like how we're wired. Okay, that's dope, but what's next?
I think it's also who we pay attention to, who we study, who we quote unquote train under. You know,
I like that.
I'm automatically thinking. I look at Kobe Bryant shit all the time. I look at Michael Jordan shit all the time. I don't pay attention to how long they celebrate their wins because they always seem to be thinking about the next accomplishment. They're happy they just did it, but they're on to the next already. So then I take that and apply that to my life. And now I've adopted this mentality of always being on go. And if you're always on go, when do you ever hit a yellow light or a red light to just fucking enjoy where you at right now and to look around and celebrate that shit? And is it possible to be on go and stay still at the same time?
Yeah, and that's a reminder of, like, I think Bell worded it earlier, like, good stress, but there are good problems,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There are good problems. I know it's a what an oxymoron, but like, we're in positions in life, and even when in our struggles, like, somebody would kill to be in those shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Whatever the case may be, running late on a car note or something, on a mortgage, and it's like, yo, you get that taken care of with the next check. The other one's like, I wish I had a roof. I mean, I
Right.
know that, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it sounds, simple or cliche or easy, but it's like, the truth of the matter is, like, there are some good problems, yo. There are really, like, good problems to have.
So I think the question becomes like, and something for us to think about, us three and everybody listening. Why don't we give ourselves the same amount of energy and concentration on the goodness? You know what I mean? Like the good things. The
I have a
why.
theory.
What's up?
My theory is we're more comfortable in survival than thriving.
Hmm.
Like, think about it, right? Chief, to your example, you said you don't focus on the positives because you're always going to the next thing, right? So the next thing is, so if you're at this rung and you're trying to get to this rung, you're now at the bottom of the next tier,
Of the next tier, yeah.
right? So it's putting you
Automatically
back
set.
in a comfortable spot. Oh,
Familiar
okay.
spot.
Yep. I know how to fight out of this. I know how to fight against with my back against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not void of that either. Like I'm way more comfortable when I'm fighting, right? Versus living or thriving. And I
Yeah.
think, like, and I'll speak for myself, like, fighting looks different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that fight sometimes is internal. It's not outside. It's internal.
Good
And
point.
like I mentioned, I think Chief, you brought it up last episode, how I mentioned you guys need a bad guy, right? Well, some of us need a competitor, right? Some of us need to be fighting somebody or fighting
Mm.
something. And I would argue, man, I would argue with the trauma that we've experienced, it's just for as bad as it may be or had been, there's some type of comfort, I would argue, for us in that underdog space, or that, which is also why I think it's so easy for us to give ourselves to other people who can empathize in that space. Oh, he's struggling just like I am. So if I got a little bit, I'm gonna try to get him or her out of it because I know how it is to be there. right? But they may not be fighting the same fight we fighting, but we empathize with that struggle. So we just want to naturally help. But they may not be planning to get to a next tier to get a new struggle. That may just be their norm, where our struggle is a means. I shouldn't even say means to an end, because I would argue that it's a continuum. I would argue that. I would argue that we're going to find a way to put ourselves in another stressful situation.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we, as fucked up as this sounds, even at that next tier that we pray to get to, and we finally got to, we put our backs against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like that's wild to think about. Like we get to the tier we prayed for and still kind of like
put ourselves at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hella good point. I'm gonna stop doing that shit. I did that shit with the Grammys. I mean, for real. I got there and then nobody wanted to speak to my ass, and I got a $2,000 suit on, and I looked at y'all niggas. You remember? I told y'all, like, minnows in this motherfucker. And then as soon as I got home, I was like, okay, what's next? Fuck that shit. I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, rather than doing something different, I'm gonna stop doing that shit. I do that shit to myself. I be using that shit as a word of wisdom. I be using that shit as game.
That's what we just talked about. That's what we talked about with the insecurity. Like, how do we mask it through positive self-talk?
Nigga, I be using that shit as game. I always use the phrase, you level up only to realize that you're at the bottom tier. And niggas be like, oh yeah, that's hella true, P. And I be saying it on some like enlightenment shit. That's not good. Listen to this conversation. That shit is not healthy, my nigga. Like, just say you leveled up and do what you gotta do to get to the next, but don't put yourself at the bottom.
Well, I also think it's
though.
I also think it's like, and I'm a major culprit of this, but we struggle with. So this can get deep, because I would argue that we also self-sabotage. I would argue that all of us at one time or another had success reluctance. I would argue that. I'm not saying it's a fact, but I would argue that we could make that claim, because in all of our careers right now, right, no matter what career you're in, there's something you could be doing to elevate, but you're not.
Yeah.
Right? There's something you could be doing to elevate, but you're not. So one could argue, like, do you like being in this position? Because it's not like you're not eventually going to do it. You're going to eventually get around to doing it. But it's like, I just want to sit in it a little longer. You know what I mean? Then I'll get to it. And it's not, none of this is conscious. None of this is conscious. None of this is a decision that you're consciously making. No one's waking up and like, yeah, I know I can get to this next level, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just not do it. No, we disguise it and convince ourselves that, oh, this is just part of it. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's like, no, I'm gonna go do this over here real quick. I'm gonna do this over here real quick. I'm gonna do this, and then, damn, I'm stressed, but you know what? That's what they say. It's just part of the game, right? It's part of my climb to the top. Where it's like, nah, nigga, you was distracted. You was distracted, and you disguised it as this is part of it. No, that's not part of it. You're choosing to not do what is part of it, to make yourself feel good about doing something. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm speaking from experience, right? Like, this is not me pontificating about what everybody needs to do. I'm talking to myself right now, right? So it's like, we can convince ourselves, to your point, Prentice, of anything. We can convince ourselves we're not the problem, even though all the signs point to us being the problem. We can convince ourselves, once we learn that we're the problem, that it was justifiable. We can convince ourselves that life is good enough right here. I know I said I wanted that, but Didn't think I would ever get here. So what's the worst that'll happen? I just keep doing this. It's not that bad. I'm still doing okay. Right. But compared to what? Like compared to what you said you would be doing, you're not. Compared to where you were 2, 3, 4 years ago, you are. So what are we doing? Like is if this is good enough, then it's good enough. But don't tell everybody that this is where you're going, but you're still finding ways to be distracted. Because in the back of your mind, this is actually good enough. Like again, don't care what you tell me. I care what you tell yourself. And that's where we have to get honest. And it's like, what are we really telling ourselves? Like, what's our internal? I just posted something on LinkedIn on Tuesday. I said, how's your mental negotiation between your ears going today? And I was like, I'm in the dogfight, but I like my chances because I was struggling that morning. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do this shit, but I kind of got to do it. But I can push it off. That was my morning. Like that was what was happening in real time for me. And it happens to all of us.
I got this joint on my phone, B, and it literally makes me like it's been a refresh or something. I can't even front. Can y'all see what that says?
Yesterday you said tomorrow.
That's the shit on my phone. Yesterday you said tomorrow, and it's like nigga, like you can't. It ain't too many more tomorrow. It might not be many more tomorrows for you. Like, let's get to it. So in certain phases, it's really been like I look at that and I don't want to get up and run, and it's like, come on, fam. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Like let's get to it.
See, it's like we talked about. It's easy for us to do stuff when it comes to like physical, like the physical part. Get 2 more reps, run 2 more laps. The mental part is where we struggle. Like the mental, the psychological, I'll say specifically, the psychological component associated to where we want to be and where we want to go. That's the part that I would argue I can put off easier than I can put off a workout. Way easier than I can put off a workout. But I don't know. I feel like I can talk about this shit all night. Cause
good. So we can pin it and come back to it though, man. But I think we definitely should. We definitely should because there was a couple questions we had on here that I think we should definitely address. But let's go ahead and wrap this joint and move to our close and double back on it next week, perhaps. Bellhead, I'm gonna let you get a final thought first, man. Be sure to give the people the mission though, Bell, before you jump into it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing changes, right? Like we continue to create a safe space as best we can for Black men to openly engage in conversations surrounding their mental health. And as we've said from day one, 5 years ago, like we just want to be the message. You know, we start with this, and as you can see, like we're not polished, right? Like these thoughts are coming to you as they're coming to us in real time. And as far as my final thought, man, I don't even know. This conversation went everywhere. But I don't know. I think my final thought is be open to different perspectives. That's kind of how I started it. So that's what I'll say. Like, just be open to different perspectives. Put yourself in different rooms and different environments so you can receive that. Because I always say, greatness is caught, not taught. And sometimes you just got to be in the room, you know what I'm saying? And you can catch it. But if you are too comfortable in your current surroundings, it may not afford you the courage to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation for the betterment of you. So that's what I'll say. Just get outside your comfort zone. Like, Just get outside your comfort zone. I was having lunch yesterday at the bar, and a dude just started talking to me. Random dude, never saw him before a day in my life. Come to find out, because he got uncomfortable and just started talking to me, we had 2 close friends in common. How crazy is that? Like, neither one of them lived in Massachusetts or Connecticut. Crazy. So anyway, get uncomfortable, because perspectives is everything. And the more you have, the better you can be. That's my final thought.
Can't hear you, bud.
So that's what's up. My bad. I'll take the next one. I felt like something that we should definitely, a final thought for me is to remind people that there is such thing as good problems. And we need to embrace that. I know oftentimes we feel like woe is me and the struggles in my face and all that good stuff, but some of these problems are good problems to have, and we're blessed to have them. So let's be mindful of that. And then, I mean, I guess that's the positivity in the problem right there. This is the problem that you have the luxury of having. So sort through it to the best of your ability, find a blessing in it, and keep pushing. P?
Mine would be, don't be afraid, under the theme of paying attention to signs, to going back and reviewing some of them, because what they meant to you at one point in time, they may not mean now. And you may be searching for answers when you have it right in front of you. You just got to kind of decipher the sign now, or the code. You know, maybe your problem, it's an equation and you're a number off. You know what I mean? Because I through this conversation, just me reflecting on, the recent events that kind of inspired this thought for me. I'm thinking that I've had answers the whole time. I just refuse to accept them, and I'd rather put my own answer up or sign in front of that one to kind of rationalize my in the moment current train of thought. So, for the fun of it, go back and just kind of review some of the things that have happened lately in your life, and see, like Bell said, if you can find a different perspective in them. Because the answer is always there. We just got to be, diligent enough to find it, and then once we do, be open enough to accept whatever that answer is.
I can dig it. I can dig it for sure. Fellas, it's always a pleasure connecting with y'all. I got to hurry up and get off this. I got to get my night run in. Trying to be disciplined. It's 10:34.
How cold is it out there?
It's cold enough, my nigga. It's 40.
Hell
Like
no.
40.
Hell no.
Let me see what we're talking about. But yeah, I got to get I'm trying to be disciplined, man. I've really been trying to, like 37 degrees. So I'm gonna make it do what it do. But yeah, man, it's always a good episode. Y'all, I want y'all to tap in with us, man. We are at allblackmenneedtherapy.com, on all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy. Hit us up at allblackmenneedtherapy@gmail.com, or Chief Bell or Prentice at abmnt.com. Hit the website, abmnt.com. Check us out. Bring us in to talk to your kids, live form in your place, whatever the case may be. We have a voice line, y'all. Our voice line is 860-410-6160, 860-410-6160. Shoot us a text, give us a call, holler at us. We'll do our best to get back to you. Per usual, y'all, do us all a favor and hug a black man today.
In real life, do it.
And tomorrow.
Do it.
We out, y'all.
Peace.